Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 12, Chapter 27, The Shiva in All, Part 2 of 3. Strengthen the belief that all objects belong to God. To teach the unity behind the appearance of multiplicity, that is to say, to help realize the Advaita, that is, the non-dual nature of existence, Adi Shankara, the greatest expounder of that school of thought, established 4 seats of practical philosophy, called mats, in the 4 regions of India. According to Shankara, the very first step in the endeavor to realize this unity was upasana, or worshipping the concrete symbol of God, which gives one the experience of the ecstasy of union. One day, Shankara was seated in meditation on the bank of the Ganga river. Suddenly he exclaimed, "Lord, I am yours, but surely you are not mine." His pupil Totakacharya was by his side then. He was astonished at this statement, which, according to him, went against the Advaitic stand. So he asked Shankara how he could ever declare any distinction between I and you. Adi Shankara replied, "The waves belong to the ocean, but the ocean does not belong to the wave. The wave is the ocean, but the ocean is not the wave." The main point to be understood here is the elimination of the ego, the elimination of the identification with the body and its needs, satisfiable through the senses. For you get joy when these needs are fulfilled, grief when they are not, anger when something comes in the way, and pride when you win over that opposition. To eliminate the ego, strengthen the belief that all objects belong to God and that you are holding them on trust. This will prevent pride. It is also the truth. Then, when you lose a thing, you would not grieve. God gave, God took away. Of course, you hear almost all talking in this strain and advising this reaction, but very few follow that advice themselves. This is the sin of all sins, saying one thing and acting quite the opposite, denying in practice what you assert as precept. Shiva is eternally auspicious. Shiva is known also as Ishvara, that is, the repository of all resources essential for prosperity. The most important resource is jnana, spiritual wisdom. 3 kinds of jnana are demarcated. Jiva prajna, that is, concerning the individualized divine. Ishvara prajna, concerning the cosmic manifestation of the divine. And the Atma prajna, concerning the universal absolute, of which the individual is the temporary particular. This is also mentioned in other texts as Deha prajna, Jiva prajna and Atma prajna, but the meaning of the words is the same as in the other. Ishvara confers the Aishvarya of jnana. He is also known as Shankara, and sages have experienced Shiva as conferring some or auspiciousness of all kinds, and happiness in every way. Shiva is eternally auspicious. He does not come embodied in other forms with other names as often as Vishnu. So he is not described as Sri Shiva or Sri Shankara or Sri Ishvara. Sri is inherent in his very person, and so it is superfluous to add Sri to his name. When you realize Shivoham, I am Shiva, then you have all the happiness, all the auspiciousness that there is. Shiva is not to be sought on the peak of a distant range of mountains or in some other special place. You must have heard that sin and merit are inherent in the acts that men do. So too, Shiva is inherent in every thought, word, and deed. For Shiva is the energy, the power, the intelligence that is behind each of them. All energy, power, and intelligence are in you. You need not search for them outside yourselves. God, who is manifesting as time, space, and causation, is in you. Why then would you feel weak and helpless? Man is tossed about by his ambitions and the cravings to fulfill them. But he must first know where he stands and where he should decide to reach. Now his efforts are wanton and wasteful. He is an expert in mathematics, but unable to do a small sum in arithmetic. He has mastered algebra, but he is unable to measure the area of his home. He knows botany with all its Latin names, but ask him about the uses to which the common tulsi plant and its leaves can be put, and he has no answer. Man has mastered all the physical exercises taught to him, but he is helpless when asked to sit in the Padmasana. He can talk loud and long on moksha and of how it is the final goal, but he does not know that he is already free. He imagines himself as bound and behaves as such. Do not get too bound up with the world. Do not completely renounce the world. Man is bound by attachment to illusory objects. When the illusory nature of the objects is revealed, the attachment falls off and he is free. These attachments persuade him to tarnish the acts of worship as well, for he prays to God for granting him trivial boons. Pray to God for God. Do not use truth to achieve untruth. Have the inner vision, not the outer. Do not be attracted by the objective world. Concentrate on the subjective world. You do not scatter seeds on the surface. You plant them deep enough for the roots to get a foothold. Do not dig the seeds into the soil too deep. Follow the middle path. Do not tighten the strings of the violin or veena too tight, nor leave them loose. Do not get bound with the world. Do not renounce the world. The Shivaratri festival, as celebrated here, is an example for you. You might ask, Swami has often declared that all days are holy days, that there is no special rite or ritual that has to be observed on any single day. But Swami himself is pouring vibhuti, holy ash, on the idol and calling it Abhisheka, anointing the idol. Is this right? Swami is doing so only to teach you a lesson. End of part 2 of 3, Prashanti Nilayam, February 20th, 1974.